What's up YouTube, it's DishDudeRC back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the first car I purchased on this whole monster truck extravaganza thing that I'm doing, where I'm trying to get as many 3S and 4S 10th scale monster trucks that I can, as well as some of the smaller 1/10 scale / 1/12 scale monster trucks. The Maverick Quantum 2 Flux. I purchased this one on Black Friday of 2024. It is currently May 13th of 2025, and I'm only doing the video on it now. Don't know why I didn't do the video of this car first, because I've owned it for the longest, and I actually have driven it. You can see the tires are a bit dirty and the body's not perfect, but just doing it now. So without further ado, let's get into it. What comes in the box? Well, obviously I don't have the box anymore, so we're not going to do a proper unboxing, but I'm still going to give you an overview of the truck. Transmitter, which pretty nice transmitter, gotta say. And then you have a manual, antenna tube, a bind plug, another antenna tube, and a connect with HPI card on the back, which I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Get the boring stuff out of the way first. This is what the connect with the HPI looks like. It gives you access to their online portal, and you can just get generally more information about your vehicle. And then the manual. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's just a standard kind of quick guide manual. This is in a different language right here. Pardon me while I get the right number of pages turned. There we go. Oh, I was the right number of pages. So yeah, so here we have like English and then German. And I'm not going to even take a guess at what the other languages are. Just general overview of how to use the truck. How to use the transmitter and what the different functions are on it. And then what maintenance to do after certain intervals of the truck. The Armanero also had this maintenance guide. I didn't listen to it. Connect with HPI, and then spare parts and whatnot, and finally your exploded views right here in the back. And that's the extent of the manual. This is all the exploded views you get for the truck, so not nearly as good as most of the other trucks are reviewed for this series. Alright. This truck doesn't come with tools. Or anything other than what I have showing here on the table right now. It does have these nice body pin tethers that are connected to the body, so you're not going to lose your body pins, which is nice. Okay, here's what the truck looks like underneath. I have raised the suspension all the way up to its highest setting. With the preload on the shocks, it doesn't come that way out of the box, so don't worry. And then another thing I've changed is this is an XT60 connector from the factory, but I put a Dean's on it because the battery I have that's the right size for this battery tray is a Dean's. And then the battery I have that's the right size for the Kyosho is a XT60. And that one came with a Dean's plug on it. So I just switched the Kyosho and the Maverick's ESC connector. Other things, there isn't a sway bar that comes on it, but there are places on, like right here would be the place where you would mount the sway bar if you wanted to. And then the diffs right here come with a place where you could like mount a sway bar if you wanted to aftermarket. I don't like mounting sway bars on my monster trucks. I've already ranted about this in other videos, so I'll digress. But if you wanted to, that's up to you. It's possible. It also has it here on the front where you can mount the sway bar right here. This car does come with lights that are pretty bright, which is controlled by the transmitter. There's a button on here somewhere. Anyway, I'll get to that later. Front and rear lights. Here's the wire going to the rear light. This, as far as I can tell, is a Hobby Wing setup. I think one of their easy run 80 amp ESCs. It does have a metal center drive shaft. It is a proper monster truck. You can see that the motor is sitting higher than the diffs, or the front and rear diff, which unlike if you compare to my Integy video, how the motor is sitting like right in the same plane as the front and rear diff. ESC, and then underneath the ESC is the servo. A little bit hard to see, but it's right here. You can see the servo arm. It's a unlisted torque spec. Interesting. And then underneath your ESC on-off button is your receiver box. It does have adjustable body mounts, so you can raise and lower these as needed. And then the body does have 2 mounting holes, so you when you stick your pin in, there's accommodating for different heights. Nice beefy front bumper, nice beefy back bumper. And in my runnings with this vehicle, not video, I've noticed a couple things. On the stock 14-tooth pinion gear, it's a little bit on the slow side. It doesn't even hit 40 miles. If I remember correctly, it doesn't even hit 40 miles an hour. So the modifications I've done to this truck so far are changing the ESC. I added the twist ties to the center chassis brace for the ESC wires just to keep them in place. That didn't come stock. But I changed the pinion gear and I added the twist ties and I changed the connector just due to the battery I had. Other than that, the truck is completely stock and it drives nice. I upgraded the pinion gear to a 16-tooth from the stock 14-tooth. Haven't re-speed run it, but it's pretty significantly quicker, and it still has the same like punchy acceleration, pull the front tires off the ground, wheelie feeling as the 14-tooth. It's just faster. So it's a more fun truck to drive now. I did move the wheelie bar to the top, to the highest position. I did change the shocks and put them in their tallest position like I've done with all the other trucks so far. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. I did program the ESC to be on the max punch setting, which I'm going to do with all the other trucks anyway, if I haven't done it yet. So again, that's the same. There's no real big changes there. This battery strap is the one that came with the truck. As you can see, it says Maverick. And as far as the rest of the truck goes, pretty durable. Although in the first run, I had like a storage charge battery pack I was running in it, and I was doing some back flips off like a street curb. It wasn't like one of the ones where it's just like forward and then goes up at almost 90-degree angle. This one actually had a curve to it, and then went onto some grass where I was landing the truck. And in doing that, I blew out the ring gear on the front differential. So that might be a weak spot on this vehicle. I was able to get a free one from A-Main Hobbies because they do a really cool deal where you can get one free part that's not covered under the manufacturer's warranty within 1 year of purchasing the vehicle. So I went ahead and just got that one free part because I'm pretty sure nothing else on the truck is going to break that wouldn't fall under the warranty. And the warranty for the truck from HPI is a powertrain, so it covers the electronics. I can't remember how long it is. It's either 1 or 2 years. It's not any longer than that. So it's a moderate warranty. You don't really get a whole lot from it. But that's pretty much it. The transmitter is actually like fairly reasonably sized. It's not crazy small. It's not crazy large. Nice foam on the steering wheel. The suspension, I mean, I can do a drop test for you, but it's not really accurate for how it comes out of the box because I have the suspension with max compression on it right now. But it still kind of bottoms out when I drop it from heights. It does rebound pretty well, but again, it's kind of hard to tell, get a very good feel for it because it's already under so much pre-compression. I personally really enjoy driving the truck though, and it's not one I see leaving the collection anytime soon. So, oh right, I said I was going to tell you how the stuff worked. So here is the on button. It's this button in the center of the 4 arrows, and that is for your throttle trim and your steering trim. Throttle trim being the up and down, and then steering trim being left and right. You have normal and reverse switches for throttle and steering. On the top, spreading between your throttle, EPA, and steering dual rate. Here's your steering dual rate. These are the throttle EPAs. I don't exactly know what EPA stands for. And then this is the bind button. I had a lanyard connected to this, but I removed it for the video since that didn't come in the box. And then this is for your lights. You're not seeing anything, obviously, because I don't have the battery hooked up, but this is for the lights right here. I don't actually remember what these buttons do. But anyway, that's a general overview of the truck. I'll get a battery real quick and show you all the lights. This is the battery I'm using in the truck, which is why I needed to change the connector. Got this battery when I bought a... Oops, I left the vehicle on. When I bought a ECX Torment on Facebook Marketplace, and it had a Castle system in it, and it came with the secondary brushless system, plus the battery and a charger, and he was selling it for like $120. So I bought it, took all the electronics out, even kept the steering servo and the receiver and transmitter, and then sold the truck for $90 on eBay. So 2 brushless power systems, servo, ESC receiver, battery charger, all for $30. You know, it doesn't get much better than that. And one of those was a Castle ESC. It was the Copperhead, not the Sidewinder, so it's a sensorless ESC, but the motor is sensor capable. So not a bad deal at all. The lights. There you go. There are the lights. And then in the rear. It is a 3-position switch, and center is on for the rear. So like all the way to the right is off. Middle is just the rear, and then all the way to the front includes the... all the way to the left includes the front lights. Plastic links all around. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the truck off. Try and cover what I covered for the rest of the vehicles. It doesn't have adjustable links, so plastic on both the camber and toe in the front, and then plastic on the camber in the back, just fixed links. But it's supposed to be a basher, so that should be fine. Metal dog bones in the front and... metal CVDs in the front and dog bones in the rear. Standard setup for these type of vehicles. It does have this nice big center chassis brace, which helps the truck just be more durable. And yeah, I mean, that's a pretty straightforward overview of it. Plastic skid plates front and rear, which that's nothing too crazy. It definitely, the truck gives me Traxxas Stampede Gen 1 vibes. From like the underneath of the chassis. Or not Gen 1, the previous generation, not their current one. And I'll get my old Stampede and show you what I mean. So there's this ramp up section here, goes back to where the A-arms are mounted beside the... Oh, this one has a droop screw potential. Yeah, so these 4 little wings would be for droop screws. That didn't happen on the Stampede. But yeah, and then like these kind of Y-shaped front section, with the servo going up underneath it and the servo saver mounted below the rest of the chassis. You can see right here, and then here's the servo saver. That's why I say it kind of gives me Gen 1 or last gen Stampede vibes. So anyway, that is an overview of the Maverick Quantum Flux. I do not plan to include my old Stampede in the big bashing video with all the rest of the trucks I'm collecting, but I do plan on doing a comparison video between this Stampede and the current Traxxas Stampede whenever I can find a good deal on that Stampede. So if y'all can find any, let me know. I'm definitely open to good deals. But anyway, let's retire the old Stampede for now. And just this is what the truck looks like. The body is pretty simple. There's not much to it. Simple truck design. But so far, it's been a good truck. The tires, pretty grippy. I mean, they're not brand new, so they're not going to be as tacky, but pretty soft compound, and they're foam. They have foam inside of them. I mean, great traction on and off road. Something I will note. I don't know how well you're going to see this on video, but the tires are kind of like curved. They make kind of a rainbow shape. I don't know. I'm trying to see if y'all can see it. So like this part of the tire is taller than this part of the tire on both of the outsides. Not sure why HPI did that, but they did. And it's just something a little bit unique about the truck. I don't know of any other monster trucks that I have reviewed do that same thing. All the tires are pretty much just flat across the entire surface. Like there's no change in contact patch. Just something to note. The tires don't seem to be showing much signs of wear, even though I do have probably 3 runs on the truck so far. So that's a good sign of them being a long wear tire. They're not going to like burn out super easily. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. So on the Punisher video I did, there was a change that I did not notice when I bought the truck originally. The original connector, ESC connector that came on the Punisher is an XT90, but right now it's running an IC5. I did not notice that change. I actually looked up what connector came on the ESC stock, and then I realized that there was a difference. My bad for not My bad for not mentioning that in the Punisher video. Anyway, that has been an overview and a unboxing of the Maverick Quantum Flux 2 monster truck. And I hope you'll have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.